use of chemicals is the cornerstone of any chemical legislation, be it REACH or any other. To ensure safe use, one needs to know about the hazards of any given chemical, and this information usually comes from the manufacturers. But one also needs to know about the use in a formulation, and then the use of that particular formulation as an intermediate mixture, or as a finished product mixture, or as an article by consumers or professionals. In other words, one needs to know about human health and environmental exposure, and this information comes from the downstream users.
You may wonder what organizations making products as diverse as paints, glues, lubricants, detergents, perfumes may all have in common. They need to receive and pass on information that is needed to ensure the safe use of chemicals throughout the supply chain, be it in their operating sites, but also safe use by consumers and by professional users like painters and hairdressers.
From the early days, CEFIC and DUCC worked together to find hands-on solutions to make this work. For example, the use maps developed by DUCC have been a milestone in improving safety assessments of chemicals. The tool allows to pass on information on how chemicals are used in several downstream sectors all the way up through the value chain in a structured way, using common language. In its turn, it allowed registrants to make more realistic assessments of safe use, leading to improved dossier quality. That's just one example. There are many more, like the SUMI tool, which is a smart tool to communicate people on how to use safely mixtures.
As first head of the REACH unit of the European Commission and first executive director of ECHA, I have personally witnessed during 14 years DUCC's relentless support for the implementation of REACH and CLP in Europe, so as to make it the reference regulatory system for the rest of the world to follow.
I must say that the constructive and competent approach shown by the DUCC members was a substantial contribution in view of the development of the legislative proposal, notably as far as the definition of the scope of the regulation, as well as the simplification of the work of the downstream users who are concerned.
And having all these companies represented with one voice through DUCC has enabled us in the European Chemicals Agency to receive very specific and targeted input where we needed it, but also to help disseminate what we have to tell in general to all companies.
I'm looking forward to a positive dialogue on DUCC's priorities for the chemical strategy for sustainability, proportionate legislation based on science and safe use, support for innovation and competitiveness, international harmonisation, and a smart transition to a digital economy.